Zookeeping. Jeff Pollins is the lead zookeeper at the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. Interviewer: how did you become interested in being a zookeeper? Jeff: I was working for the Metro Park, the city park system in Cleveland, Ohio, and the stables. When I heard about the position at the zoo, I started working at the Birds of the World building and later transferred to the African American animal area, where I've been for 70 years old. Growing up on a farm, I've always liked working with hoofed animals. Cows and a horse are related to giraffes and zebras, so their behaviors and the body structure are similar, but there are also a lot of interesting differences. I learn new things every day. Interviewer: what skills do you need? Jeff: observation is the most important skill. Jeff: skill. You have to be able to look at a group of animals and figure out what's happening. Maybe they are getting sick, or one is going to give birth, or they are not all getting along. These are wild animals that can be dangerous, so you need to use a lot of common sense. Interviewer: which kind of animals are you responsible for? Jeff: I'm a lead keeper, a working supervisor over our African savanna and the Rhino Monkey Island area. I oversee many animals including giraffes, zebras, antelope, ostriches, vultures, and native African birds. We run mixed species exhibits where we have birds and mammals that are saved together in the same yard. Interviewer: what do you like most about your job? Jeff: I get to work independently without someone telling me what to do. Everyone finds the position they enjoy most of the zoo businesses. Some people enjoy working with the monkeys or birds. The hoofed animals are my favorites. We've had many giraffe babies born here, and I enjoy working with them. Interviewer: do you come to care a lot about each animal as you would with a pet? Jeff: it's hard to avoid getting attached to certain animals. Zoo care has progressed a lot, so animals live longer than they used to. I see illness and other problems developing as an animal gets older, and I have to make decisions about how to care for the older animals. Sometimes the animal is suffering and it's best to put it to sleep. Interviewer: what is the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? Jeff: I was ran over by a giraffe. We were bringing them and one of the females wheeled around and started running back toward me. I barely had time to turn around and try to get out of the way, but she ran into me, over me, on me. Interviewer: were you injured? Jeff: a little, but mainly just sore. I got stepped on a few times, but nothing major. Interviewer: how much does a giraffe weigh? Jeff: a giraffe weighs 1,500 to 2,500 pounds, depending on whether it's male or female. Interviewer: how do you manage a group of giraffes? When you move them, do you move them one at a time? Jeff: no. Most of the hoofed stock are herd animals. They do everything as a group. Once you teach them a certain routine, they'll keep doing that. As a keeper, you have to follow a routine because changing confuses them. For example, a giraffe knows which stall to go into. We give order with our voices, and sometimes we will use a long stick to tap them. It lets us keep a safe distance. Interviewer: how do you provide medical care? If you have to work on a large animal, do you give it a shot so that it sleeps while you work on it? Jeff: on most of the big animals, the vets use a blow-wipe pipe or an air gun to put them under anesthesia. If it's long enough per door, they keep the animals under with gas. Putting a giraffe under anesthesia is risky, so we want to make sure it's really necessary. We need to be sure we have all the necessary people and the equipment in case complication areas. Interviewer: what happened to giraffe when you anesthetize it? Jeff: we have to watch how they go down so they don't hit their heads. When they are lying on their side, they might have trouble breathing because they are so heavy. Sometimes the anesthesia makes them have difficulty moving the muscles in their necks. We have to think about their things carefully before we do procedures. Pressures. Interviewer: do they ever lie down? Jeff: yes, every night. They lie with their legs tucked under them. They don't sleep or hours like we would. They take naps for 10 to 15 minutes at a time, and then they get up again. Interviewer: are their heads up? Jeff: they often lay their head on their hip if they want to go into a deep sleep. Interviewer: oh, like curled. It must be quite a sight. Jeff: yes, it's neat to see them all lying down when I arrive them in morning. Interviewer: can you think of something funny that's happened to you working at the zoo? Jeff: a few years ago, we had ostriches outside in the winter. They were in an icy patch of the yard and I was trying to get them in. They had lain down, but it was too slippery to get back up. There was a spot along the doorway that had melted enough to walk on. I sat with my back against the fence and put my feet on each ostrich and pushed it like a hockey puck across the ice. They slid pretty well over to the thawed area, and then I prodded them to where they could get up, and I was able to walk them in. Interviewer: aren't ostriches dangerous? Jeff: the females can be during breeding season. Their kick has the potential to kill. Potential. But the females are usually pretty good. They can be a challenge sometimes, but it depends on how you work with them and what kind of the relationship you will build with them. Every animals can be dangerous, but that's where those observation skills come in. You have to watch what's going on so you know when to get out of the area. All the animals have different personalities. Interviewer: what do you think about keeping animals in cages? Jeff: I think we've come a long way from iron bars. Most of our exhibits are interactive now. We work hard to allow animals' natural behaviors that keep them from getting bored. The exhibit yards are bigger and including what they call furniture, like rocks and locks. Most zoos have a team of people who work on developing interesting environments for the animals. Zoos share ideas, and there are zoo magazines that say we tested such and such with the animals and it worked out well. There's a good network among animal care workers. Interviewer, what's the most difficult animals to care for and why? Jeff, we have a type of animals called the slender-horned gazelle, native to North Africa. There aren't many of them in captivity, and they are inbred, which means they have babies with their close relatives, so their immune system is not as good as it should be, and they are more likely to get common infections. They are easy to manage, but they have medical problems sometimes. Interviewer, what's the most dangerous animals you care for? Jeff, any of the hoofed animals, giraffes are the most dangerous. Their kick can be the worst. Right now, we have 4 of them. We've had as many as 8, including the calves. Interviewer, do you have any special stories or moment to share? Jeff, we had to deliver a giraffe calf back in 1998. This was the mom's third of 4 pregnancy, but she was having trouble with this one. The calf wasn't moving through the birth canal. I reached inside her and helped pull the calf until the head was out. Then pulled the calf until the head was out. Then the vet and I put her out the rest of the way. The calf must have had oxygen cut off in the birth canal, but we got her breathing. The baby didn't want to nurse for a few days. He kept her with the mom, but the tube fed her. Then, on the 3rd day, she started nursing on her own, and she turned out to be a really nice animal. She bonded with us too, so she was really easy to handle. She's in Kansas City, and she's one of their best giraffes. She's almost 4 years old now. Interviewer, you found out that if you handle a baby that much of the beginning, it becomes much more manageable. Why don't you work with all of the babies? That way to develop them into the kind of and easy to handle animals. Jeff, we don't do any hand raising unless we absolutely have to. The mother-reared animals is better because it knows how to behave like the animals it is. Animals that are human-oriented forget to act like zebra or a giraffe. Interviewer, do you see yourself staying in this job for the rest of your working life? Jeff, I would say so. I've had a lot of successes here, and there's still a lot I want to accomplish. Besides, I find caring for these animals very satisfying, interesting, and challenging.